Hi guys, today I was building a dripstone farm and I wanted to share my personal design with y'all just because you may or may not need one. It's actually dripstone blocks are not what you need the most, but they can be useful, especially if you need to farm lava, for example, which I use a lot in my smelting systems. I'm extending this one that I built earlier today, which is my design, and it's quite a big one, but as you see, it just basically breaks the dripstone when it comes down in front of the observers. It breaks like 3 blocks every time, and then it drops on the rails and the copper minecart collects them. This farm is based on someone else's design that I borrowed from a YouTube video. It's this design here. I'll link his video on the in the description down below. It's quite interesting video. It talks a bit about dripstone machines, and that gave me the idea to build such a machine. Build materials that you will need are right here. These are approximate quantities, but I will put the precise quantities in the description. So there's not a lot of redstone, but nothing too tricky, you know. It's quite simple. So these farms are quite slow. The thing is, for a stalactite to grow, it needs to be hit by a random tick, and then it has a 1.13% chance of growing of one block. So it's really slow. The way we speed up this process in this farm is simply by using water sources and dripstone blocks. The wiki states that this speeds up the process, but I didn't see the specific calculations on how it does it. But I will link in the description the wiki page, which is pretty filled with information and calculations if you want to dig into it. Pretty much what you need to know is that for a stalactite to grow one block takes on average 5 in-game days. I mean, the maximum length of a dripstone spike, it may reach up to 7 blocks. So here on these farms I'm using a length of 3 blocks for the spikes, but you could go up to 7. Another property of the spikes is that you can craft dripstone blocks with the spikes themselves. You need 4 of them. If you have 4 of them, you can craft a dripstone block. But the thing is that this craft is not reversible, so you will not be able to craft spikes back with a dripstone block. So let's get into the building then. It's quite simple, as I said. Not that many different blocks. I'm gonna grab some stone first. I like to use the smooth stone because it's easier to count the blocks when you need to have specific lengths on builds. So the area you will need for this farm specifically will be 42 by 15 blocks. So we're talking of 42 blocks length and 15 blocks width, and this farm is 8 blocks high. I will be extending my previous design, so I will start from here. And so I will not be placing this glass wall right here. So you want to build a 3 by 34 platform here. And then another platform 3 blocks apart. Then you wanna extend those platforms up by 1 block. So you wanna grab your observers, go on the platform. Here you want to place your observers from the back, so on the opposite side of where you're placing them. You want them 1 block apart of each other, facing outside, and so powering inside. On this design I am using 1 more row here, which is an extra row. You don't need it in the build, it's just for aesthetic purposes. Next step is just gonna be to fill in all to the left. We're gonna go like this. Leaving 1 block gaps behind each observers. Then we're gonna grab the dust and place it between those blocks. Like this. So then we're gonna grab some more building blocks and we're gonna place them around the base of our building, all around the base of it. So your build should look approximately like this. Then we're gonna grab our pistons, place them facing outwards. The way this works is every time a block is in front of an observer, it will trigger 6 pistons, as you can see. Then you want to grab your redstone blocks and place them as I do. Here under the second observer, and then with 7 block spaces between them. And then you want to place 1 block connecting the 2 sections, which is going to be right here. And then for the second farm, you can just repeat the same process. Then we're gonna grab our rails hoppers, our redstone components, and we're gonna break 2 corner blocks here, and then the 2 next ones here. Then we're gonna place a temporary block here with 2 hoppers on each side going in it, and then 2 more hoppers going in those hoppers here. Then we're gonna place 3 blocks in front of these hoppers and extend it 1 height like this, and then just break these 3 blocks. So you have this shape. Then we're gonna place our redstone torches here, our comparators here. Make sure that you have the 2 torches towards the hopper and not towards the block. And then our repeaters facing towards the hopper into the block. And then place our levers here on each side of these blocks. Then we want to grab our rails. It should look like this from the temporary block position. Then we're going to grab an empty shulker box and a block of glass. Then coming here, we're gonna place the glass between the temporary block and the redstone block, between the 2 hoppers here. Then we're gonna break the temporary block. Place the shulker box sideways, make sure it's sideways, and then place a building block above this shulker box. This redstone contraption here is an unloading system. The way it works is that if a minecart comes above this accelerator array here and it has items in it, it will start transferring its items to the shulker box. And as long as items are going through the hopper, the accelerator rail will be turned off, which means the minecart will stay in place until it's fully empty. And then once the hopper has finished transferring the items, the rail will power back up. I've added a lever here, just for the simplicity of turning the farm off if you need to. So just flick the lever and it will keep the accelerator rail off until you turn it back on. We're then going to place another row of blocks above the pistons. Like this. Then we're gonna take our dripstone blocks and put the dripstone. Here we're gonna place a temporary block, then a line of dripstone blocks on each sides. Now we're gonna take our glass. Place it around the dripstone. And then you want to place a couple of torches here. These will prevent mob spawning on the top of your farms. We're gonna build the glass walls around the farm. These are gonna prevent any items from falling out, pretty much. And then we're gonna cover it up here. Your farm should be done.